How's everybody doing today? I got my good friend Chan, excuse me, Chan the Millionaire Barber with me today. My business partner, one of my partners, and esteemed colleague, and just an amazing human being. And today we're going to be talking about this idea. And that's the idea of getting some momentum in the marketplace. So for you all who are not on stream, who are not on YouTube, and if you're not on um, Stellar Wealth Management, you'll want to switch over today if you listen to us here on Instagram. If you want to see Chan, if you just want to listen to the interview, then cool. But I would switch over if I was you all, so that you can see my buddy. This is a wonderful brother. He's helped me to make billions of dollars. I've helped him to make millions of dollars. And today we're talking about momentum, how to get momentum, how to get momentum in the workforce, how to get momentum in anything. So Chan, top of the afternoon to you, my brother. How you doing today?
What's going on, Rick? Living the dream.
Right on, right on, right on. So let's get straight into this discussion today about momentum. And we were looking at some articles. In fact, a gentleman made a post about how, how Starbucks, how Starbucks didn't even make any money for the first 17 years of business. They were borrowing money to stay in business. So they didn't pick up enough momentum to make a profit until 17 years. What do you think about that, Shan? Is that endurance? And what do you think about this idea of momentum? People think they're supposed to get in the first 3 seconds of doing something, but we know, you and I know, that's not realistic. What do you think about the idea?
Well, that momentum, they were already doing something. So when you're already doing something, it's easy to pick up momentum. But when you're not doing anything, it's kind of hard to pick up that momentum. But if you're already in motion, you may just need a little push, a little pull.
Mhm. So what do you think about people? Some people are not in motion. Some people are emotional. So I know the one thing that has kept my emotions in check is being in motion. So what do you think about that whole idea? Should a person be in motion if they want to, get away from being emotional, because you can't make no money when you're emotional and get all caught up in your emotions? What do you think about that, Chan?
Yeah, you always want to be in motion because even if somebody passes in our family or we're dealing with something, doctors, they'll tell us you want to stay busy. You want to keep your mind busy because the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if we staying busy moving forward, that's going to help us. Because your EQ has to be higher than your IQ.
Say that again.
Your EQ has to be higher than your IQ. A lot of these billionaires, millionaires, they have a high EQ, not a high IQ. A lot
So what
of
do you mean? What is an EQ versus an IQ?
emotional quotient.
Hmm.
Okay.
Emotional quotient. Okay.
Yes.
So
EQ.
explain that.
It's like if all of us go to prison. I've
Mhm.
been to prison. Okay. And then we get out. Well, if you got a high EQ, you're not going to let your past dictate your future.
Mhm.
This woman may have 3 kids. This woman may have 10 kids, and the one that has 10 kids may outdo the woman that has 0 kids because of her EQ. She has a high EQ. She can handle adversity, trials and tribulations, conflict and controversy, because when it rains on the just and unjust. We all gonna have issues. If you talk to any person, any broke person, they're gonna have a bunch of excuses. You could talk to this millionaire that had more trials and tribulations than this person over here, but they have a high EQ. Doesn't matter how high your IQ is, how smart you are, intelligent, because when life hits you, and it's going to hit all of us, how are you going to respond to that? And how 10% is action, 90% is reaction. So you got to have a high EQ because things are going to happen, and you can't get emotion if you got a low EQ. Because most people with a low EQ, when things happen, what do? They lay in the bed, they waddle up, they don't move, they pout.
Wow, a high EQ. All right, so everybody, let's put our first formula in the chat, and that's EQ equals millions. There are no millions without emotional intelligence. Okay, so EQ equals millions. All right, so put EQ equals millions in the chat, and we'll go on to the next point. I'm talking to my good friend Chan, the millionaire barber, one of my top colleagues in the world. And Chan has opened up over 2,000 barber schools around the world. He's the #1 black man in the world, in the whole world, that does it. and he knows a whole lot about EQ because he came from nothing. He came from the joint, and with nothing, And I'm very proud of you, Chan. And so I'm so glad to know you. And I never talked to you without feeling better. Never. I've never had a conversation with you, and I wasn't more determined to do something after we got off the phone or if we were in person talking to each other. And you do have a very high EQ. You do. I noticed that. So in building up momentum, if I'm hearing you correctly, sounds like in building up momentum, one of the reasons people can't build up momentum is because they think that momentum is in the beginning, but momentum is not in the beginning. If they have a low EQ, they can't make it to the state of momentum. If I'm hearing you correctly, because they keep starting and stopping stuff and quitting before they can get going. What do you say to the person that's starting and stopping? Is there something wrong with the EQ? What do you think?
They got a low EQ. People, they may ask you, well, Rick, what is emotional quotient, emotional intelligence? That's the level of their emotional intelligence, how they handle stuff. And if that's low, they're not going to go high, because things are going to happen to us every day, every week, every hour, every year. It's 2024, getting ready to be 2025. A lot of things happen. One of the past few years, one of the most tragic things happened to you, Rick. Your mother passed. You have children, a sick child that's very sick. But do you see Rick coming on here pouting, complaining, and all of that? No, he has a high EQ. Now, when things happen, we're expected to cry and respond or whatever, according, because of your child, your mom. Yeah, you should. That's something that should really take you all the way down. But a lot of these small things, we letting that just stop us to restart over. No.
Well, that's a good point you bring up. And I believe one reason why I haven't been depressed since Mama passed away 2 years ago. And thank you for how good you treated my mother. Thank you for how good your mother treated my mother. And she was crazy about y'all, talked about y'all all the time, about how nice you are, how hospitable you are. And all she would say every time she think about you all, impeccable, impeccable. That's her favorite word for you all. Those people I would see on the phone talking about you. I come pick her up, and she on the phone telling me, I'm going to Chen's house, one of Ricky's friends. And I tell you, that's the nicest young man on the planet. And his mama, I tell you, Judy, she just was really crazy about y'all. But I believe one of the reasons I've been able to not be depressed is because I treated my mother. We had such a good relationship. What do you say to people who are being casual about their relationships and then suffer from the depression of somebody being suddenly gone that they could have handled? Because I see the way you treat your mother. You treat your mother like Fort Knox ago. Your mother ain't got no bedroom. She got quarters. When you go in your house, you just pull the doors open. I think look like some geese gonna come up out of there. And I love the way you treat your mother, brother. I got a lot of respect for you. So what do you say to people now who having these strained relationships? What if something happened to their folks? How they gonna get some momentum in 2025 to do something if they depressed, worried about, man, I should have did this and I should have did that. What do you say to that, Shane?
They either have discipline now or regrets later.
Explain that.
Meaning, when your mom passed, Rick, you had no regrets. You had the discipline you treated your mama like a queen, Rick. I watched how you treated her, how you talked to her. I even watched how you responded to her when your mama would put you in check, Rick. You always honored her. No, even when she put you in check and said things that you did not like, you still controlled your tongue and respected her. So when she passed, you didn't have any regrets. I could talk about your family members, how they were feeling, but I'm not going to go down that road. It was because they didn't treat their mother the way you treated her, Rick. So you can sleep good at night. The best things in life are free. You got peace of mind, freedom. You can't beat a peace of mind, a good night's rest. And it was all because of the way you treated her. But money can't buy the way you treated her. And a lot of people have strained relationships because of ego or what they did to them or said to them. No, you got to make amends, not just for them, but for your sake.
I agree. So that sounds like, again, like emotional intelligence that you're saying. And it really sounds like a lot of building up momentum and things, if I'm hearing you correctly. A lot of it's got to do with the gratitude. If you're grateful, then it's much easier to build up momentum because you focus on how blessed you are instead of all that nagging and complaining. What do you say about people who what do you say about people who like to complain a lot? How they gonna ever get up off the ground? Today I'm talking to my friend Chan, the millionaire barber you are, and I'm suggesting to you that you switch over to my YouTube channel, Rick the Wealth Coach, so you can watch this live because he's a wonderful young man. If I was you, I would be watching this in person because he's got a brilliant mind. He helped me to go from making $100,000 a year to becoming a multi-millionaire because of a lot of his influence on my life. So that's why we're talking about momentum today. I want to show you all how to get the momentum, how we went from making hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars to millions of dollars. But I want to show you all how to build this momentum up because momentum is something that you have to build. Right now, we're talking about emotional intelligence and how important emotional intelligence is in building up kingdoms. Because if you ain't emotionally intelligent, you ain't gonna stick with nothing long enough to build it up. And it's just not realistic that you're going to build up something from day one. So thank you, Chan, first of all, for how y'all treated mama. Man, I'm so grateful. And that's why I came down to check on your mama recently. And made sure I paid my respect and spent a week with you all and
Talk
enjoyed
about
every
that
second.
watch today, Rick. They watch you bought her.
Well, Chan's mother loved bling bling, y'all. So me and Chan went to the store and found a bling bling little Coach watch, and she was so happy because she's so easy to please. That's why you got such a good attitude because your mother got such a good attitude. That's why I got the attitude I got. My mother was very easy to please. She wasn't a person that you had to run through no hoops, but she was a grateful type of person. So next question, Chan, is that when a person is building from the beginning, um, most people think that momentum is in the beginning. But momentum is not in the beginning because momentum requires mistakes. It's all right. So MBM, you all, everybody put in the chat, MBM, mistakes before momentum. You're not, Chan, what do you say to the person who hates to be wrong? They're trying to build up momentum, but they got a problem with being wrong. They want to be right all the time. And what do you think? Is that a lack of emotional intelligence right there? What's your thoughts about that?
That's a lack of emotional intelligence. That's a lack of confidence. Why they're doing that? Because nothing's never going to be perfect. We always are going to continue to improve. Look at the iPhone. We continue to improve. Look at Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever. He got cut in the ninth grade. What if he had quit? Thomas Edison, a light bulb. He failed over 10,000 times. And when they asked him why did he quit, well, he said he knows 10,000 ways that it don't work.
Let's go. Let's go. 10,000 ways that it don't work, huh? That's deep right there. That's a book right there, right? 10,000 ways that it don't work. Hold it. We got to park right there for a second. How's somebody going to never find out how something works until they find out how it don't work? Is that even possible? Is it even possible to find out how something works without finding out how it don't work? Is that even possible? What do you think?
That's the purpose of connecting with somebody who has already made those mistakes and know which way it don't work. I mean, it's like a GPS. Somebody sending you in the wrong direction versus the right direction. One wrong turn, and we've probably all traveled. One wrong turn, you can end up way somewhere else.
That make a whole lot of sense too. Navigation, just it's called the compound effect or the rippling effect of just a little bit being off from where it was that you. So how about it though? But what about people at least having the willingness? I know that for example, you and I, we do reels. We do reels to get millions of people to watch them. And you took my class on reels, and I learned a lot of stuff from you. But you took my class on reels. I think this is a real good example of what we're talking about you all right here. How you were a man who was already in motion and already emotionally stable-minded because you're always working and you're a very productive individual. However, when it came down to making reels, before you took the class that I was teaching, what was like the highest amount of people you'd ever got to watch your reels?
Probably a couple of thousand, 1,000
Really?
As far as shares, maybe 10 or 20 shares.
Okay. So over the last month, how have your top 2 reels performed?
Almost 1 million views each. They're like 800 something thousand each. Almost, well, the top reels, if you combine them all, were 2 million views, but 2 of them over 800,000. And I've been on Instagram since 2010, y'all. It's what, 14, going on 15 years. And when I say Instagram, consistently, because I'm not scared of the camera. You know, I get on and talk or whatever. I've been on consistently. When Instagram Live came out, I started doing the live TV. When Instagram first came out, they didn't have Instagram Live, but posting and all that, I've been doing it consistently. But I've been doing it. You can do things consistently, but if you're doing it the wrong way. But one thing about it, I had momentum, but it wasn't really the right momentum. 100% correct.
So, but this is my point though. So I taught you the class that I learned. So all of you all who don't know what we're talking about, I have a class. It's called the Virality class that I created. It's only $297. It'll save you, instead of you going into 2025 trying to figure out how to get people's attention. I took a $30,000 class and I made it a 3-hour class, and Chan took it. And Chan, so you're saying your videos went from 2,000 videos to 800,000 views on just one video.
Views with one video.
On one video. And how long a period of time?
Less than a month. Actually, Rick, when I took your class, I made that video within a week. That's what happened to that first video. After I took your class, I took notes, because I always take notes of everything. And I said, okay, I'm going to just do what he said. And that's all I did. And that video went viral. Now, we're not going to even talk about the money that came from that. If you could speak to 800,000 people, how much would that cost you to speak to 800,000 people? That's how the mindset that you want to think. And it's 800 and counting just from one reel from that. And it wasn't luck. See, I did exactly what he said, because I've been posting and doing stuff. And I've taken other people's classes. But that program that you taught us, Rick, you spent 30,000. And I know you did, because I know the guy whose class you took. And I know what he charges. So for you to teach that class, you just took the meat and gave us the meat, not a bunch of BS. Because a lot of people had these classes and courses, and we think because it's long and a bunch of stuff that is valuable. No, I need something, the stuff that's right and short and sweet. That's what should cost 30,000. See, to travel, you travel a lot, Rick. When you travel first class from Atlanta to California, that should cost a lot, shouldn't it?
Sure.
You're gonna get there quick. If you rode a bicycle, what's gonna take you longer? In other people's mind, they think that should cost more. No, something that's fast and right, that's what should cost more. Your class should be the one for 30,000. Theirs should be the one for 297, because you gave us the meat. Boom, 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 boom. Not no BS. And that's exactly, I implemented exactly what you said do. And
well, I'm happy.
Tech artists.
I'm happy for you, Chan. And for those of you who aren't watching my buddy, y'all really should get to know Chan the Millionaire Barber. So follow Chan the Millionaire Barber on Instagram, Chan the Millionaire Barber on Facebook, Chan the Millionaire Barber on YouTube. Especially all of you all in the beauty professions who are tired of working behind a chair, and you want to start making millions of dollars like Chan does. Chan will show you how to open up a school, and you can take the same time that you was putting into being behind a chair. If you all are interested in the beauty industry, Chan is the #1 Black man in the world. So if you're interested, I would get in touch with him at Chan the Millionaire Barber on all of the networks. So Chan, first of all, I'm happy for you. And if you all are interested in a class, just put virality.
Everybody on here needs to get that class. If you're on social media, if you have a business, I recommend every last one of y'all to get the class because I watched Rick when he first got on Instagram. I mean, let's look at Rick the Wealth Coach. Okay, he's not 20 years old. He's not 20. When he got on Instagram, he had 0 followers. I had probably 20 or 30,000. Rick did this. Had 100,000 followers, not bought followers, and then had these viral videos, 1 million, 2 million, and all that. And I'm thinking, I had to call Rick up because he's about, man, Rick, man, how'd you do that? What's going on? Oh man, I took, you know how cool he is. Oh man, I took a class. I just spent, 30,000. He said 30,000 like it's $3. I said 30,000. Yeah, I spent 30,000 on such and such class, and he teaches you how to create viral videos and all that. And I said, okay, well, and then with me being his friend, I'm gonna teach his class, man. I want you to be his 297. 297, is that it? I'm gonna be there. I was there taking notes. That class was, I think, about 3 hours. And
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shane, go ahead.
No, it was 3 hours.
So 3 hours, 3 hours bought you a whole lot of momentum. Is that correct?
A whole lot.
So we're talking today to my good friend Chan, the millionaire barber, and what we're talking about is how to create momentum in your life. And we're talking about one of my classes, but the point is that momentum is built 2 ways. One way, you have to make a whole lot of mistakes. The other way is that you have to leverage somebody's knowledge in order to build up. Because see, when people try to build up things, Chan, they try to build a roof first. They really think they're just going to step into something without one or two things. And the foundation for momentum is either concrete advice or a lot of mistakes. So that's the only way you can build up. You have to either have a lot of mistakes or you have to have some concrete advice. What do you think about that whole idea of building a momentum house? And you got to start at the foundation. You got to pour some concrete. Which concrete do you suggest, Chan?
I'm going to find somebody that's an expert, that's already been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. That's common sense. Whatever you want to do in life, find someone that's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. They find someone that's already got all the arrows in their back.
Wow. Find somebody that's already got all the arrows in their back. Y'all really need to be watching my buddy Chan and me. This is smart, man. Very smart, man. I remember the first time I met you, Chan, and I didn't know how to do these funnels, so I can get people to find out what we were doing online so we can help people. And I met you, and you invited me to your house, and right there where you're sitting in your mansion and where your office is downstairs. And I've been trying to do this funnel stuff for years, and you put my stuff together in 3 hours. I've been trying to get the stuff done for like 3 years, and I'm talking about I hit the ground running. And by the way, you all, we're talking today about momentum, how to go into 2025 and hit the ground running, you all. How not to be wondering what to do. Ain't it hard to hit the ground running when you don't even know what track to run on? So I want to thank you for starting my online presence back in 2019. We first met, and how you saved me, I don't know, 10 years maybe. You condense things down in 3 hours, and Lord have mercy, help me make millions of dollars, man. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm glad to be able to pour back into your life and be able to do something for you. So what do you say to our audience who's listening about avoiding, do tell me, what do you think, Chan? What is it about the brain that would like to do things that are really hard and produce income really slowly, or produce results really slowly, where momentum is something a person never gets? What do you think? Because I'm always trying to find out what's the fastest way to build up some momentum, sustainable momentum. And I'm always looking and searching for people smarter than me. What do you think? What's going on with the brain of people? Is it that emotional thing you were talking about before? Why do people opt for the hardest thing that produces the lowest amount of results? What do you think?
I think it's previous programming, all the way from kindergarten, all the way up through school. You and I talked about this privately, how we're conditioned to not ask for help. We're conditioned to not, they condition us in school, what we were talking about, where if we have a test, something that we don't know, you can't ask the other person. That's cheating. You get in trouble for that. You get in trouble for connecting with someone else for help. So I think it's previous programming, our family members, our associates, friends, our environment. But now with this social media, people get to connected with you, Rick. They listen to you, with you educating these people, doing the 5 E's: educate, empower, enlighten, entertain, engaging. So now it's an even playing field. There's no reason for a person not to be able to connect with an expert, even if it's something the person doesn't know. If they just contact you, Rick, you may not know it, but in your circle, your sphere of friends, all these influential people that you have in your Rolodex, you can point them in the right direction on anything. If you
I agree.
can't help them.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree that that once you get the idea of helping people, then you're always looking for somebody that can help somebody. So I know that's my goal. When I'm for 2025, all of y'all want to know what Brother Ricky doing. I'm forming brand new partnerships in 2025 with people who can help the community. So they cold-blooded in what they do, like top notch in what it is they do. I'm gonna do more of that. I'm gonna make that more of my personal pursuit for 2025 to develop more momentum. So everybody in the chat, let's put personal development ED, all right, equals M, because personal development equals momentum. All right, so everybody, let's put that in the chat and let's get that idea in our head. It's 2025, and people are, they discount personal development. They think, they act like I've heard that word so many times. I'm like, but are you personally developing? Because either you are or you're not. Either you're gaining momentum or you're losing traction, because life is so relentless. What do you think about that, Chan? How a person can be right? One person is moving at the speed of light, and the other person stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck, as though life is gonna be like neutral, but life is relentless. It just moves on, whether the person is gaining anything or losing anything. What do you say to the person who is allowing life to steamroll over them? How do they get about that funk? What would be some of the first things you would do, Chan?
One, the Bible. I'd start feeding the promise, the prize, and I would starve my problems. Because whatever you
Hold
feed,
it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Say that slow. Say that again, please.
I would feed my promise, the prize, the promise that God has put inside of each and every one of us.
That would
But
be.
I'd feed it with information, with videos, with listening to you, and I would starve my problems.
Come on, Shan, break it down like a fraction.
I'd starve them.
How do you feed your name? Give me a few ways to feed your promise, and give me a few ways to starve your problem. Give me some things that you do that work for you, because you have an immense amount of momentum. When you do something, it takes off.
When I got out of federal prison with no money, no job, no driver's license, bad credit, I'm enjoying living in a mansion. Although I was living in a halfway house, when I was cutting hair for 3 cents an hour in prison, I'm enjoying running my school. I'm enjoying retiring my mom. I'm enjoying having millions of
Wait a
dollars.
minute, you're talking over folks' head. Wait a minute now. They think you bipolar.
Well,
You say why you was making 3 cents an hour and why you was living in a cubby hole. You said you were enjoying the thing. You talking about in your head?
in my mind, in my head, in the spirit world. See, it's a difference when you're speaking in the spirit world versus the physical world. You got to speak and act and talk as if you've already there. A lot of people wait until they get there. No, whatever God did, whatever He spoke it before. You got to speak it and believe it, and and you got to thank the person in advance who can make it happen. Force His hand. And speak it to the whole world.
Say that last thing again. Do what? Force His hand?
Force His hand and speak it and brag on Him to the whole world, because they're going to say, oh, he crazy, or they're going to say, I don't believe in God and all that. So what's going to happen, God is going to work through you to show them how great He is.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Because the devil is alive.
Above all names. and he's worthy of all praise. And our hearts will sing, how great is our God. We gotta take a little praise break for a second, y'all. Come on, everybody singing now. Come on, let's go. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. For all to see how great is our God. Hey, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. For all to see how great is our God. You know, Chan, when I walk into your mansion and observe your mother, that's the first thing in my mind. How great is our God. That's amazing that you would say that you making 3 cents an hour and you seeing, man, go back again, because I just want to make sure we slow down, because I didn't know if everybody was picking up what you was putting down. I wanted to make sure they didn't think you was bipolar, that you was like you crazy, but you were saying what you was saying in your head while you was doing some things with your hand. And after a while, you started doing with your hands what you was seeing in your head. Is that correct? Or can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was already visualizing where God was going to take me, and I was already started speaking that. But a lot of times, we visualizing and speaking in the physical where you at right now, which is that's not real. You got to look into you got to look at your future self. If you could see your future self, you wouldn't be doing the things that you're doing right now. And a lot of times we can't see our future self. If I knew my future self, cheering from the street, I would have did all of that stuff back then.
You said if you had been looking at where you were as opposed to where you were physically, if you've been looking at that as opposed to where you were mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and if you had been looking at that, then you would have been feeding your problem instead of starve. Is that what you meant by starving? Starving. So give me that starving thing again. It sounded like you were saying when you feed your promise, you automatically starve in your problem. Is that correct? Is that what you meant?
That's right. You don't even have time to when you put all your energy into something positive, you don't even have time for negative energy. When Nehemiah was building the wall and all them people, the minute you start building your dream, your vision, your future, you don't have time to fool with that petty stuff. An eagle, you'll never see an eagle with a duck. You have never seen an eagle with a duck. Eagles don't even fool with ducks. Ducks can't even fly where eagles are. Eagles don't even mate with ducks.
Hold on a second, Shane. Okay. I got another thief on here trying to, man, this make me so mad, Shane. These marks do this stuff every live. I just wish God to give me discernment so I can jump through the computer and hog tie one of these tricks. This Thomas Williams dude is not me. I don't know nobody named Thomas Williams. This is some more thieves on here, you all, who telling you to DM them. Do not DM them. That is not me. I don't know how these tricks keep doing this stuff. Me and Chan having this Holy Ghost party up in here, teaching y'all how to really do well. And we got to deal with these demonic spirits and these devils. You dig? So anybody telling y'all to DM them is not Brother Rick. All right. I'm teaching y'all live. Why in the world I'd be telling you to DM me? I'm not trying, I don't want nothing from y'all. We're just trying to teach y'all some principles, and y'all go ahead and do them if it makes sense to you. All right. If y'all want to come to the challenge, just put challenge in the chat. That's how you get to meet me. Okay. If y'all want to know how to make money with Brother Ricky, just put challenge in the chat. That's how you get to meet me. All right. I ain't trying to have no meetings. I ain't trying to have no appointments. I ain't trying to do none of that stuff. Why? Because we busy. All right. We real busy. I'm training my godson today. You know, I traveled all over the country to come holler at him so I can come train him. He's 19 years old, to teach him about life. That's what I do with my time. I ain't trying to be in y'all DMs and all that sort of thing. If y'all want to come to the challenge, coming up on what's the day? Next Monday, not this Monday, the 6th. Yeah, the 6th If y'all want to hit the ground running and blast off for 2025, just put challenge in the chat, fill in a link, come on over. I recommend that you all join the platinum section because you can ask questions there until the platinum section is too full. Once we get too many people in the platinum section, we don't allow anybody else in there. So everybody can be able to ask a question all week. So that's my recommendation to you all. If you want to learn what it is that we're doing, that DM stuff, that is not me. I do not solicit people. Y'all hear me talking to y'all every day. Y'all know I don't know, we ain't thirsty like that. We don't get out like that. We teach y'all not to be thirsty. Behave like a king, behave like a queen. I'm not going to DM you and try to sell you something on the side. I don't get out like that. All right. It just is what it is. Okay. So I'm here talking to my good friend, Chan the Millionaire Barber today. And Chan, you are helping so many people. If Chan is helping y'all today, if he's helping to really help y'all to get off to a really good start for 2025, y'all really appreciate Chan. Put blast in the chat. If Chan is giving y'all a blast today, are y'all blasting off? Are y'all getting some of this momentum? Just put the word blast with an explanation point if Chan is helping you all to blast off, because you make me feel like boom, 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 and a zoom, zoom, and listening to you, brother, because I observed your life over these last 5 years. We've been friends going on 6 years now. Yeah. So I've observed your life, and you helped me to blast off, and I believe some other people. Anybody else ready to blast off? Who ready to blast off? You ready to blast off, Ernest? Let's go. Who else ready to blast off? You ready to blast off, Ken? Let's go. Eric, you ready to blast off at 25? Let's go. Myra, you ready to blast off at 25? Let's go. All right. Mona, you ready to blast off at 25? Let's go. Focus ladies, you ready to blast off? King Curtis, you ready to blast off? All right. My God is awesome. Yes, sir. He is. You ready to blast off? Yvonne, you ready to blast off? Come on, let's blast off together. Let's take this. Let's take a spaceship, rocket ship in 2025 as we enter into this year. Let's blast off. Let's do everything intentional. So, Chen, there's a whole country around, not just the country, but outside the country, they're saying thank you, brother, and rightly so. Let me ask you this: so people think that momentum, they never. Can you just at least explain the amazing feeling that momentum gives you? Because people think crack feels good. People think cocaine feels good. People even think sex feels good. I'm sure all that's got a good feeling, you know. But what the feeling of actually being able to do something right? Can you please explain? I can't hardly even put that into words. How good it feels to be competent because you're actually doing something right, and people coming after you to do business with you because you're so good. Because you're so good at opening up beauty schools. You've opened up over 2,000 of them. You do it in your sleep. You can really help a person open up a school. You're so good in business. You're so smart in cryptocurrency. I mean, you showed me currencies that helped me make 100% on my money, you know? And I just did it just because you told me to. I ain't even waste time looking them all up. I'm like, man, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. So can you please speak to the people, Jan? And because I don't think people understand what momentum feels like. I like everybody here to feel this, get this feeling, man. Is it better than crack? What do you say, Shane?
I'm sure it is, although I've never smoked it. But when you achieve something, and every time you do something, you know you're going to hit a home run, it just makes you feel good, especially when you've been working on something and you feel like you have not been getting the results that you desire, but you're looking at everybody else and you know, what are they doing that I'm not doing? It's like I've been working harder than everybody else on Instagram, but yet Rick started way later than me. And then I'm wondering, what is he doing that I'm not doing? And I call him up, and then he tells me that, hey, I'm going to do this class. I'm going to show you every single thing, and you're going to get the same results, if not better. Now, Rick is telling me this, and in everybody's mind, we always think, yeah, it happened for you, but it ain't going to happen for me. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do, it. And it did happen. And it keeps on happening. So, and I don't want to keep going back when you're talking about momentum. I keep talking about this class. And I know that class, like $297, okay, there's nothing or whatever, because you do your trust and all of that stuff. But I've already had a trust from you. I'm great for that. But when you show me this in the class, the momentum that it's taking me, now I can I've reached almost 2 million people like that. Do you know how much money you would have to spend on Facebook ads $100,000 to do those type of numbers, and you're reaching them for free. That's a lot. So with this momentum, just these little small things, it means a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at you glowing. I ain't seen, you such a mild-mannered person. I ain't really seen you like smile like that. But when you started making these videos, I saw all your teeth. I was like, Chin, I didn't know you had 32. Which I saw all your teeth. I'm like,
a lot of stuff don't move me, and a lot of people don't move me. A lot of things don't move me or get my attention. But when I do something and it helps me and it works, I'm like, I'm all I'm all in. And I'm gonna tell everybody. I mean, I even tell people about how I took this class. Rick got this class, and people have come to me. Well, no, he ain't got that class. And I go to your page, but dang, Rick he's not advertising. He don't even talk about it. So and then I know you get 1,000 DMs, so he's not gonna respond to the DM. So I'm probably gonna have to get that link from you, Rick, and keep it in my phone so I can just send it to people personally or whatever, or put it on one of my managed chats. Hey, if you want to blow up your Instagram or whatever, comment the word Rick, and then they'll get that link.
yeah, well, just viral. They just put viral. You can use the same thing.
Viral. Comment the word viral.
Yeah, y'all can do it now if y'all want to take the class. Just put viral in the chat and it automatically send you the link. And then you can be taking a class too. So, we're talking about hitting the ground running for 2025 and gaining momentum evolve. And we teach 3 things with Stellar Wealth Management. We teach you how to make money fast, a lot of money fast, not a little money slow. So we break all them curses in your life if you follow these instructions. Okay, that's one thing we do. Then the second thing we do is to make sure you manage your money right, because y'all not operating out of trust. So y'all stuff is y'all pretty much doing all this hard work for the IRS, the probation court, for the probation judge, for the probation lawyer. Pretty much the way most of you all are set up, probably 98% of you all as I speak right now, the way y'all set up is y'all working for nothing. Y'all stuff is going to go to some people you don't even know. Chin set up so his money go to his family. I'm happy for you, Chin, that you're doing.
Your trust, Rick. I mean, them people looked at me like I was crazy when I took that paperwork. Now I don't like talking about color barriers or whatever, but where I live is probably nobody looks like me. Nobody looks like me in my street or neighborhood or whatever. So the bank out here, when I went in there with that paperwork, they whispering and I don't know what they were saying, but looking at me like, where did he get this from? How does he even know this or whatever? And I just sat there and they had to do what they did. So a lot of people got LLCs. There's nothing against LLCs, large lawsuit coming soon. I mean, but they need to. I mean, I don't like to degrade or whatever, because that's great, because some people don't even have an LLC or whatever, but you all want to go to the highest level, the pinnacle. So when is your next challenge?
January the 6th.
January the 6th. How can they get in it?
Just comment challenge. That's all.
Comment challenge.
The link automatically go to them.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy for you because you're making millions of dollars before you met me, but you wasn't managing millions of dollars before you met me. You was making it, but your money was pretty much going to go to whoever. So I'm happy for you because you listen. But the easiest people to do business with, Chin, and let's say this. Let's teach everybody this right quick, because people are trying to do business with people who are not already in motion, and they trying to help this person to get some momentum. But I'm like, they got to be in motion already to get some momentum. All right, you don't go straight from atrophy and straight from sitting still to momentum. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is that you have to start doing something, and once you start doing something, you start building up to the point where you can actually enter into the beautiful, glorious gates of momentum. But inertia is, Chin, I'm at my challenge. I have fun with people. I say inertia is like a ghetto girl with some big lips. Girl, what's your name? Inertia. You're like, who? What's your name again, girl? My name Inertia. Boy, you want to give Wick this? I'm like, girl, if you don't put some Vaseline on them, let me hit them right. Let me hit them right quick. Let me hit them. I quit a girl because she had some chapped lips. I ain't lying. She kissed me. I felt like I got assaulted. I'm like, girl, if you don't do something with that, she's gonna get mad at me. I'm like, how you gonna get mad at me? You kiss me and I'm bleeding, and you mad at me. Inertia. What's your name, girl? Inertia. So inertia is a principle. It's the principle, you all, that was still, it stays still until something comes along and moves it. All right. But you don't go straight from inertia to momentum. You go from inertia to at least getting about the grave. So we trying to teach you all today how to blast off for 2025. And if you're in inertia right now, if you're in a rut right now, then it would help you to come to the financial IQ challenge, because I'm not going to agree with you. When you come around me, I'm not going to patronize you. I'm not going to agree with you. Is this Mark still sending this stuff out? Yeah, some more. Here go this Liam dude too. I don't know who that is. Somebody else. All right. So, y'all be careful about these people. You know, they bums. They ain't got no life. So they come on and they try to get you to do, like when I compliment, you know, Chan, this is when I make comments on another person's like feeds and all that, I never try to sell my stuff to people. Never. I just be watching what they're talking about, and then try to be a blessing, like by putting in like a message with them about what it is they're doing, because I like what they're talking about. They're trying to help somebody. And then I'll make references to them, you know, like, y'all should really listen to them. They got good sense. Like Dr. Tracy Lynn, I like her, the $100 million sister. She real smart to start her own jewelry stuff and all of that. Dr. Tracy Lynn, I like her. And so I comment on her things a lot because she's a real smart woman. But I ain't commenting on her stuff, trying to get nobody buy no trust, trying to get nobody to do this, trying to get nobody to do all that. Why? Because that ain't the point. It's like thirsty behavior. And I believe people who never experience momentum and live in a state of inertia are thirsty. I believe they spend all their time trying to manipulate their way into places. It's either momentum or manipulation. What do you say to that, Shan? When you got momentum, you got to try to fool nobody or try to force nobody into doing nothing because people want to get with you. Well, what do you say about that? Momentum is like a big magnet. It's like draws people to you. What do you think about it? Has that been your life story as you pick things up where people start? Talk a little bit about how you went from having nothing with your business, if you would, please, and how you end up having 2,000 schools. But talk about where you think you start hitting the momentum at. What happened where people started actually coming after you when at first nobody knew who you were? Can you speak on that, please?
Well, one, people always looking at you, and when you build yourself up and work on yourself, they'll see the change in you. And then once you make yourself better, anybody that comes in contact with you, you're going to start making them better. And when people see you making them better, then it's going to be a domino effect. And then people are going to start chasing you. Money will start chasing you. You'll just become a magnet for people chasing you because they want a part of you, because they see how you help change not only yourself, but even people around them. And then they'll see people who are less than them or lower than them pass them up, and they wonder, wait, what did they do? So now you just become this magnet. And with social media and with the reels and stuff, you really can just reach the masses. And everybody's pretty much nosy looking on your page, looking at stuff, but you're going to draw what you are.
Wow. So that's a fact, right? You're going to draw what you are, right? So in other words, you ain't going to the bank and pulling out no money you ain't depositing, right?
No, because my dad was a preacher. Mm-hmm. And even when new members came, it's almost like when people smoke cigarettes. When they go outside, all the smokers huddle in a certain place together. Even in the church, with them not even knowing that this man was a whoremonger, he automatically attracted people like that. Even the woman beaters and the different people that joined our church, with people not even knowing the situation of who they were, they automatically drew the gossipers. They automatically drew the people that was just like them, the good habits and the bad habits.
Wow. So you can't help but so if you're in a state of inertia, not moving forward, then you're going to draw a whole bunch of deadbeats and people that are in a rut and complain a lot. You're going to draw them too, because Misery love company. They love to have a party. So hold on a second again, Shan. So this is I don't know who this lamb dude is, you all. I don't know who this cat is doing all this content. He must not have got nothing to do by getting 50 different comments on here. So he must not have nothing to do. So I wouldn't be following, don't pay no attention. Nobody come on my channel selling their own stuff that I don't endorse. All right. Brother Ricky and I don't endorse them. I wouldn't do nothing they talking about because first of all, they're lazy. Ain't nowhere in the world I'd be on here making 15 different comments telling you to go do something and all that. Trust this person. Nobody trusts you. I don't even know who you are. All right. And matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me just block this trick so I can stop doing all this. Just block them. So, hold on a second now. Good. I don't be knowing how to do this stuff because I ain't into all that. Trying to. All right, I'm just gonna let it ride for right now. We'll cut them off later. But all y'all, this is 2020. This is 2025. Don't let nobody. Don't trick your money off of nobody. Don't play games with people. Don't be dealing with bums and busters who ain't even in the marketplace, lazy as hell, ain't teaching nobody nothing. Just show up around the clear blue sky trying to get your money, and don't cheat for it. All right, have some common sense in 2025. Okay, go into 2025 with your eyes wide open, not your eyes wide shut. Okay, earn what you get. Pay attention to people, how they coming at you, and become a person by, like Shan is describing us, who people come to you because that's who you are. They ain't coming to you because of who you ain't. They're coming to you because of who they are. And in 2025, if you constantly attract some busters, just ask yourself, why these busters keep showing up? There must be something wrong with me. I don't think there's nothing wrong with them. Must be something wrong with me if I'm attracting these cats. Okay. So, Jen, as we wrap up today, the last thing I want to talk about is we talked about two different companies when we first started. Let's re-mention these companies again, and how they hung in there, and how they stuck with it throughout all the trials and everything that they had. We talked about Starbucks already. Let's talk about Coca-Cola. How many Cokes did they sell the first year while they was in business?
They sold 25 bottles.
25 bottles of Coke in the first whole year.
And after they paid all the bills, did all the marketing or whatever, I think he said he might have $50 of lost money or whatever, but they sold 25 bottles.
25 bucks. So they definitely didn't have no momentum in year number one.
No, most people would have quit.
So where are they in the beverage industry now? Where do they place?
I mean, now, Rick, everybody knows Coca-Cola. It's international, worldwide. I mean,
they number one, Chan.
Number one
in the planet. They must have they for a whole year they was inertia, right? For a whole year they had rusty lips, right? For a whole year. And then after hanging in there, they put some Vaseline on them lips and then got them old crust, got rid of those crusty lips. And after a year, they started finally getting some momentum, and then finally getting some momentum, and then finally getting some momentum. So I want to thank you, brother. I want to thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you for giving me energy. When I saw your reels, and by the way, you all, my friend Chan here, he getting so much momentum now. Watch out. He already multi-millionaire when I met him. But now he going to the, might be head towards the billionaire status now because he learned how to do these reels, learn how to do these videos. And I'm happy for you. But you give me energy, brother. I'm 62 years old. And when I'm teaching people and I see them go do it, then I feel like I'm 22, and so you give me a great amount because you always go do anything we're talking about. You like in the room trying it like the very next day. And I'm extremely proud of you, man. The way you conduct yourself, brother. I'm telling you now, you are a breath of fresh air. And I want people to get to know you. Chan, the Millionaire Barber. For those of y'all who don't know this outstanding young man, a phenomenal human being. And follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, follow him on TikTok, follow him on YouTube. And if you have any aspirations whatsoever in the beauty industry, getting away from being a slave, being behind a chair and being tired and getting carpal tunnel and getting varicose veins and being worn out and not having no, not having no real money. If you're tired of all this stuff, but you like the industry, then I would look him up and I would follow Chan the Millionaire Barber because you've helped so many people. How many schools to
We
date
got
have
over
you
2,000 and something people that's open schools across the United States.
over 2,000 people? First person that have opened up a school. Who's the first person you ever helped open up a school?
Who was the first? That was back in, I can't even remember, Rick. I'm gonna have to research that.
I thought I was looking at one of your videos, like somebody named Larry or something. I don't know. So
No, it wasn't him.
what year was it? The first? Do you remember the first year?
That was back in 2000. That was 24 years ago, almost 20. Because I opened in 1998 and I helped somebody in 2000, 2 years later.
At one point, you had the biggest school in the
I had
whole
the
United
biggest
States.
barber school in the entire United States for years. When I started, I had the smallest with 0 students in 98. But God said the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And every day I would thank God for 100 students in the spiritual, but I had 0 in the physical and everybody thought I was crazy. Then I got 1 student and I thank God for 200 in the spiritual, but had maybe 1 in the physical. And long story short, I got accredited, started receiving government funding while I was on federal parole. And then God blew on that thing, moved to another location, and ended up having 200 and something students at 20,000 student barber school. So yeah, that's what God will do.
That sounds like momentum.
That was momentum.
That sounds like big
without
Mo right
social media back then.
You say without social media?
Back then, we didn't have Instagram, YouTube.
Wow. So I don't know about you all, but I'm inspired. I'm inspired. If y'all inspired today, put inspired in the chat. If Chan inspires y'all, I'm going to pray for you all. And we're going to say a prayer over Chan's legacy. We're going to say a prayer over your legacy, Chan, that it will explode from 2,000 to 200,000. And that this year, 2025, you'll blast off and just be the CEO of several other businesses. And that you're going to have a considerable staff to do what it is that you're doing. If y'all inspired, put inspired in the chat. If y'all inspired Chan, you have inspired me today. I'm so glad you came by. And we're going to pray for you that you would get, that your momentum in 2025 will escalate and just bombard the entire globe. All right. So everybody, I want y'all to take our hand and put it towards wherever you are. Put it towards the phone if you're listening on the phone. Put it towards the computer if you're listening on the computer. And it's time for you to bless Chan, because if you bless Chan, God gonna bless you, because that means he's in the neighborhood. All right. So come on, let's pray. Father, I thank you, Lord, for my good friend Chan the Millionaire Barber. And I thank you for his amazing mind, his amazing brain that he brought by and shared with us today. Thank you for how he taught us, Lord, how to starve our problems and how to feed our promise. Thank you so much for the amazing wisdom they gave us. Bless Mama Judy, bless his niece in the house, Whitney, as we continue to pray for her. And bless the gentleman that he allowed us stay at his crib. He's so nice, so kind. Bless this man in the city. Bless this man in the field. Give this man the strength of 10 men so that when his enemies come one way, they have to flee 7 ways. All the weapons that's being formed as we speak, every devil, every demon, every demonic power, every principality, Lord, we rebuke it in the name of Jesus, and we demand it to back up off and smell of coffee. Thank you so much for his great attitude, his emotional intelligence that he taught us today, for his stick-to-itness, Lord, for his ability to be able to help so many people clear across the globe, and then for being kind enough to be my friend. Bless him in ways that are uncursable, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Go out and dominate today, baby. Dominate. Thank you so much for joining us today. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. It's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. We love you all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about that. And remember that stellar is as stellar does. All right, it's time to blast off, y'all. All right, let's go. Hit the ground running. God bless you. God bless you. You're welcome. Hit the ground running. I'll say thank you, Chan. Hit the ground running.